Let's move on to Nazem Kadri. And this is unfortunately something that's all too familiar with Toronto Maple Leafs fans. Absolutely lays out Justin Faulk in a clear charge, is suspended, and this is something we've seen before.
Do we have games yet? Do we have games yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Not as of the recording.
No.
Nas was unbelievable in last year's playoffs. He really was. But now, like, here are his last 4 playoffs, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Suspended game 1, suspended game 2, really long run, suspended game 2. That's a non-option. He's a better than depth player. He can be your second or third center. I think he's a very good second line wing option. This is an exceptional hockey player who you cannot trust in the playoffs. So he's a non-option. Like the two things with Boston were red mist situations where he lost his temper. This is, I mean, that's I was amazed by the reaction. It's as bad a hit as we've seen in hockey in years. And it actually kind of helped me realize like how far the game's come. Like this used to be a near weekly thing with like Matt Cook and Rafi Torres just braining guys twice a month. It was wild. And so to see this hit turn the clock back about a decade, I mean, I hope Justin Faulk's okay, but like Nas, I don't know when the show is going to get posted, but everyone prepare for him to get 10.
You think so?
Yeah, well, because it feels like Nas is, and I know he's not on the Leafs anymore. I don't have to go to bat for him quite the way I used to, but like it just feels like he's the only one who's actually suspended the way players are meant to be. Where and I tell you what, get ready for this to get dragged up. It's a legitimate argument. If this guy gets dinged, I'm having a difficult time understanding how Wilson only got a fine. Okay, Wilson's punch on Buchnevich or what he did to Panarin. Is it worse than the hit? No, I don't think so. He didn't, and stop at he glanced off the shoulder. No, he didn't. That was directly to the skull. But again, repeat offenders, guys who get suspended all the time, are supposed to get punished more, not fined $5,000. Nas is going to get 5 to 10 playoff games, I imagine. And Wilson got nothing. I don't understand it.
Steve, there's something about the repeat offender thing that's confusing people. Can you clarify what that is?
No.
Okay. So you had a conversation and I just thought I don't still quite get it.
Yeah, here. So let me try to find the conversation I had with my special unnamed source here. Basically
it was Hat Guy.
Yeah, Hat Guy sent me, people get this so wrong. If they decide to suspend you, your history becomes a factor. Absolutely. Repeat offender is purely to determine level of monetary loss. And what I didn't understand from that explanation is, where does the 18 months thing come in?
Mm-hmm.
Because under the, assuming this is correct, which I've now been given the impression it's not, if you were suspended more than 18 months ago, you're no longer a repeat offender, which, believe it or not, would make Nazem Kadri, of all people, who's now suspended 3 of the last 4 playoffs, not a repeat offender.
Can I read you the FAQ from the NHL player safety?
Please.
So I would love that.
This is from NHL.com/player safety questions. So the official source. Their question is, hey, what is a repeat offender? The answer, a player is considered a repeat offender for 18 months following his most recent incident that resulted in a suspension. His status as a repeat offender in this category is used to determine the amount of salary forfeited should he receive another suspension. It is important to note that even if a player is not defined as a repeat offender, his past history may come into consideration when determining future supplemental discipline. So, if I'm understanding that correctly, the amount of games that the player gets isn't affected by the 18th month rule. The amount of games the player gets is only the fine that's levied against him is affected by the 18th month rule. But when you're evaluating the suspension for the players, you can take into consideration who the guy is and his reputation.
It's just the NHL eating soup.
It's very both sides of your mouth.
That's lawyer speak. We don't want to get pinned down to one thing.
Yeah. Also, Nazem Kadri should sit the rest of the series. I think we'd all agree with that.
I think that's pretty hard to disagree.
Yeah.
You ever just wake up and have an unquenchable thirst to understand hockey? Like, just I really do feel like friggin' like Sisyphus, like Tantalus. Like I feel like sometimes that I see that 18-month rule and it's an oasis in the desert, and I get there and there's no answer. I don't understand it. Listen, if George Peros likes you, you're good. Likes Tom.
I want to read you a statement that John Tavares put out 50 seconds ago, if that's okay.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is from @91Tavares on Twitter, obviously. The support I felt since last night cannot be put into words. I'm thankful to share that I'm coming back home and recovering. Thank you to my family, friends, teammates, the Maple Leafs organization, Leafs Nation, and the hockey community for being by my side. Also, thank you to both medical teams, emergency services, and everyone at St. Mike's Hospital for their exceptional care to help me get back on my feet. I look forward to when I can wear the Maple Leaf on my chest again. Until then, I'll be cheering for the boys along with Leafs Nation as we compete for the Stanley Cup playoffs. JT. That's something.
There you go.
It's something.
I mean, I'm amazed how much we've heard from him.
I am too.
Yeah.
Just one last question on Nazem Kadri. Is this proof he will never learn his lesson?
Well, I can't. If past predictors are, or if past behaviors are the best future predictors of behavior, which they are, it would seem we have a trend here. Steve went into it 3 or 4 years. It's like if you're a team destined for the playoffs, if you're a team on the fringe, if you're the Canucks, you could probably take a guy like Nazem and go, listen, we got to make the playoffs in the first place, so who cares? But that there was that article, and I think it was Platinum Seat Ghost that had it, where he looked it up, and like Nas was like, what are the chances a third time? Like, this isn't going to happen a third time. And yet,
is that a real? Said?
That's a real quote, and I remember that quote, and I believe it was in the Athletic. No, It wasn't Booth. That's a real thing. I remember reading it. And, a lot of people at the time said, yeah, what are the chances? But we said, what are the chances he gets suspended again? And if you'd asked us before the 17th or the 18th playoffs, hey, what are the chances Nazem Kadri gets suspended this series? We'd be like, I don't know, probably pretty slim. I think when it comes to him, I think you can't build a team with that guy playing a pivotal role if you're expecting to make a deep run.
And the only time...
But if we are what our actions dictate, now we shouldn't be only judged by our worst moments, but we've now got 3 major bad ones, right?
It's also proof he won't escape his past. And I look at this hit as so different from the 2 things he was suspended for with the Leafs. 2018, he lost his temper. 2019, he lost his temper. This is a bad hit. Like, you're up 3-1. Why are you so upset? Like, I don't think it was a temper thing. I think it was just, if this is his first offense, it's still a bad hit. But we're probably talking like 2-3, something like that, which is, everyone keeps saying 2 games that I've seen, like, it's the playoffs, he's not going to be considered a repeat offender. Man, I think they are going to throw the book directly at his forehead.
He's got to pay your don't be dumb tax.
Yeah.
Like, stop being an idiot tax.
And like, okay, so first of all, he's the only player I've ever seen be suspended for not an actual amount of games. He was suspended for the rest of the series. I've never heard of that in my entire life.
It was a
I don't know if that's ever happened before.
It was a round 1 suspension versus the Bruins. That was very odd.
The only other one I can think of, I don't know if Aaron Rome was given 4 games or if he was given the rest of the series in the Stanley Cup final in 2011, but he's played 36 NHL playoff games, Stanley Cup playoff games. 15 of them are last year. He's been kicked out of 3 of those games. He's been suspended for, let's do the counting. In 2019, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2018, I believe...
Wasn't it 2 games?
I think he was gone game 2, game 3, game 4. Okay. So there's 8. So it's 8 plus whatever he gets now. And like by the time this thing is awarded, he will have been suspended for like a third of his eligible Stanley Cup playoff games. And it's even worse when 2013 he wasn't suspended, 2017 he wasn't suspended. If you just count from 2018 onward, it's like half, something like that. I haven't done the actual math, dude. That's worse than a 5th liner. You can't have this guy on your roster if you can't trust him. Now, what's amazing is this story could still very well end with him winning a Stanley Cup.
Sure. Yeah.
The Colorado Avalanche are a spectacular team, and he makes them even better. He had 18 points in 15 games last year. This dude's great.
I don't think anybody wants to see him fail.
No,
that's the thing. It's just, it's not that we're out here going like, let's do a hit piece on Kadri today. All right, boys, break. Let's go. Like it's more like this is the reality of it. The Avs are very, very good. He could be back. He could score the Stanley Cup winning goal, and I'm sure a bunch of Avs fans will erroneously tweet us the picture. And it has nothing to do with the fact that he is not a good player or a player that we don't personally all believe in. We had him for years in Toronto. Years. And he was traded because of this.
I'm mad and I'm disappointed.
Yeah, it's like it's your son.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, not but, and I'm mad and disappointed.
So anyway, I think it'll be interesting to see how that I'm sort of shocked that the suspension hasn't come down yet, which tells me that the NHL is hiding behind the smoke screen that is what's happened with Tavares today to take their time and figure this out.
You're going to be able to read the title of the rule book just above his eyebrows. They're going to whip the book at this dude.
You think so?
Yeah. That was a very odd way to put it.
Dude, they are gonna. I don't know. I like playing with words. They're fun
too.
But they're gonna ding this guy something fierce, I think, or he'll get a game because we have no idea. Spin the wheel.